Happy Monday, everybody. Just going to be honest here. Since Friday, this scripture has just really been on my heart. I've been thinking about a lot because what it's saying right here is exactly what I did. I went back. I ran back to the weak and worthless elementary principles of the world. And so check it out. Galatians chapter 4, verse 8 and 9. Formerly, when you did not know God, you were enslaved to those that by nature are not God's. But now that you have come to know God, or rather to be known by God, how can you turn back again to the weak and worthless elementary principles of the world? Whose slaves you want to be once more? And I stopped right there and I thought, January 20th, 2015, I was suffering from a 23-year porn addiction, a 23-year marijuana addiction, and I want to say it's like either 20 or 21 years of just on meth every day. And when God got a hold of me, because I later learned that my dad gave me back to the Lord. He was like, have your way with him. This guy's gone, And so God took everything from me. Took my job, took my cars, took my house, took everything. Little by little, found myself at a bus stop, kicking back and homeless, nowhere to go. And so God gave me enough wisdom to try to go get help. I should look for a Christian place or whatever. Fast forward, January 20th, I went to my dad's house and asked for apologies and apologized to him. I repented of my sins. And overnight, God took my meth addiction, my porn addiction, my marijuana addiction away. And so here I was serving God. I was serving God for a few years, serving at a church. February 20th, 2018, a trial and tribulation hits me. And I fell back into sin. And I suffered. And I remember reading that when you go back to your sin, it's worse to come back to God. And boy, it was. Man, I was in the worthless elementary principles of the world, and I wasn't back doing my drugs or nothing like that, or no porn, but Satan saw another desire that I wanted, and it was to feel love in the wrong places with women. And so then at some point in my life, I felt like what this scripture says about the parable of the seed, and it's the one right here where he says, as for what was sown on a rocky ground, this is the one who hears the word, immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in himself, but endures for a while. And when tribulation and persecution arises on the account of the word, immediately he falls away. And that's what happened. I fell away. And I fell into depression. I started using metal objects to burn myself. I have scars on my hands, legs, arms to prove it. I was extremely sad. My life was horrible. But you know what, something though? In the midst of me sinning, God was still faithful. God was still working. He never left me. I left him. Because he took my credit from being horrible, turned it into good because he put the right people in my life, got me this beautiful home that I live in. He was still there. I still had my job. Like, even when I fell asleep and drove my bus up on a sidewalk, he touched the people's heart to overlook that at my job when they could have fired me. God was still there, yet I wasn't. Fast forward, I realized that what kind of seed I am. And so I'm like, God, I just want to be a seed of good soil. That's all I want. Like, that's my heart's desire. Like, how can I be a seed of good soil? And so little by little, God started chipping away things, molding me, and started using my pastor at our church and people all around me. He used, most importantly, my now my fiance, and you know, we've been, you know, together for a year, but a little over a year. But he just used certain people, and look what he says. And it was prophesied in Isaiah, but this is found in Matthew chapter 13, verse 15. He says, "You will indeed hear, but never understand, and you will indeed see, but never perceive. For these people's hearts has grown dull, and with their ears they can barely hear that, and their eyes they have closed." And that's exactly what I was going through, right? Depression, everything. Everything. Nothing went right. Nothing went right. Lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and turn, and I will heal them. And guys, God has healed me. I don't burn myself. I don't do the things that I used to do. God has transformed my life. And I know there's some of you that watch these videos that you don't even have a personal relationship. And if you want to know more, please call me. You have my number. God will do amazing things in your lives. I'm sorry for going over on time. Anyways, I love you guys. I'm constantly praying for all of you guys that get this video. So God bless you guys. Have a great day.